Good afternoon, students. Welcome you all. Today also we are going to start with the first chapter, French Revolution. In the previous video we discussed about that how aggressive people of France they attacked to the different government buildings. What was their reason? Why they were so aggressive? Why they attacked on the fortress of Bastille? Why they attacked that place? Why they were hating that place? We will discuss. But to look after the further French Revolution, it is must to look after the past. We are going to discuss the period of old regime. It means the period before the revolution. It means we are going to discuss about the 18th century. The period before the French Revolution, that is before 14 July 1789. Let's start with the first topic, French society during the late 18th century. As I told you, who was the king? Correct, Louis XVI. We are going to talk about the Louis XVI. Louis XVI, remember the year again, in 1774. Louis XVI, belonging from the Bourbon family, he was ascended the throne of France. At the age of 20, he married to the Prince of Austria, Marie Antoinette. Upon his accession, when the new king, found an empty treasure. When he was ascended at that time, he found empty treasure. What was the reason for the empty treasure? The first reason is the long year of war, which drained all financial resources of the France. This was not the reason. Another reason is that that we are talking about the kingdom. It means it takes a lot of financial support for the maintenance of palace, for the maintenance of army, for maintenance of soldiers. So these all are the reasons where this all financial resources of France drained. The Palace of Versailles. We'll talk about the Palace of Versailles. We'll talk about the Louis XVI. Under the Louis XVI, the major reason, the war which we discussed. Under the Louis XVI, France held 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the common enemy Britain. Now, due to this war, the France was already suffering with the credit. But as this was the one, due to this war also it is added. It means it is risen to billions labor. Now when already they were taking the credit from the lenders, and the lenders have seen that now they needed more loan to survive. So lenders, what they did lenders suddenly, which state credit they have given, the lender started to ask that 10% interest. They were asking that 10% interest on the loan should be given. Now the king, by hook or by crook, he should have to pay that interest because no other substitute was there. Now they should have to pay an increasing percentage of its budgets on interest payment alone to meet its regular expenses such as cost of maintaining an army, the court, the running government offices, or the university. The state was forced to increase the tax. Now, this was not sufficed. The French society in the 18th century was divided into 3 states. We discussed in the previous video also. I told you old regime, it was working like this, that in 3 states: clergy, nobility, and the third state, which was further afterward it was called as National Assembly 2. We'll discuss about that in further video. Now when we talk about that, the society of this state, old regimes, was the part of feudal system that dated back to Middle Age. Again, I am going to please underline this. Old regime is usually used to describe the society and institution of the France that is before 1789. As we have seen that when lenders ask for the 10% of interest, now the king has decided that we should have to increase the taxes. Our taxes will increase. It means that again who are going to suffer? The third estate. Why third estate will suffer? We'll talk about it. Third estate only the one who was paying the taxes, and first two, clergy and nobility, these were exempted from the paying the taxes. They were extracted from the paying the taxes. They should have to only enjoy the privileges. Now what was the reason? The next paragraph. Figure 2, we already discussed that how this old regime was divided into 3 states. Now from this all, 90% population of the France were peasants. But these peasants, few were there, those who were the owner, and rest of the all land owner were nobles, clergy, it means the church peoples, and few of rich peoples from the third estate. Rather than this, 60% of land owned by nobles, church and other rich members of the third estate. The member of the first two estate, that is clergy and nobility, they enjoyed the privileges by the birth, I told you. The most important of this that they should not have to pay the taxes, and the nobles were enjoying the feudal privileges. Feudal privileges means they will extract the taxes from the peasants. They will collect the taxes from the peasants. Not only this, the peasants were obliged, they should have to do it. Peasants were not only serving, it is must to serve the nobles. How they were serving? They were serving to the Lord by working in their houses, fields, or in their army, or participating in the buildings, the roads. This is all must part for the peasants. It means they should have to cultivate the land, and some of the time which is remain, they should have to give service to the Lord, these landlord. The third estate suffered a lot. Third estate was not only you can say that exist or abide from the getting the privileges. All benefit is given to only two section of the society, that is clergy and nobility. Not this is the ended one that they should have to serve, they should have to work sometime as a serve, free labor. They are not going to pay any wages for it. After this, we are going to see that which type of taxes they should have to pay. Peasants are the one who were paying taxes to the church, it means to the clergy, and even though to the nobles. The church too extracted its shares of taxes called as tithes from the peasants, and all member of third estate pay the taxes to the state also, that is direct tax, and that is called as tithe. A number of indirect taxes are also asked. It is asked on the basis of articles of everyday consumption like salt, tobacco. All this burden is on which section of the society? The third estate. They should have to pay. Now when we are talking about this, what you are getting it? Very critical and poor condition of third estate. Third estate is the one who should have to pay the taxes. Tax to the church, that is called as tithe. The direct tax to the state, that is called as tithe. And even though some of the indirect taxes also it is asked. When they should have to pay the tax, can't you think about this, that the surviving condition will be like that? They should have to do a lot of struggle to survive. A lot of struggle. Let's see the next point. Before looking after the next point, you can see the figure 3. How it is indicated that the noble's picture is in the form of spider and the poor peasants are in the form of fly. It means that spider is intention is to only grasp, only have to take, and even though a small sympathy or you can say kindness is also not there, that they will look towards this peasant, how they were harassing to these people. See this poor picture which is indicating you that what is the condition, what was the condition of these peasants. Now get back to the point. Peasants' poor condition. They were literally overburdened by paying the taxes to the church, to the nobles, direct and indirect taxes. Now peasants, what happened in 1.1 we'll see the struggle to survive. The population of France rose from about 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. Now when population increase, it means what should be increased? The production should increase. It because production should be as according to the demand. As according to the demand of population. Population increase, it means that food demand will be there. But this led to a rapid increase in the demand for food grains. But that food grains could not keep pace with the demand. It means that food grain was not able to, the production of food grain was not according to the population which was increasing. This is not the point. This is one point you can think about it. The another point is what? The peasants, and now the second condition of workers. The workers which were appointed, that workers' wages also decided by the owner. Employed workers, the wages were, they were not getting as according to their work. The wages they were getting as according to the owners what they were deciding. It means wages also did not keep the pace with the rise in the prices. It means that the gap between the poor and the rich is widen up, and it's very worse. This is what the drastic effect on peasants. And after that, the natural disasters are also there. Sometimes the production failed due to natural disasters, and this is led to what? Subsistence crisis. Please learn this point, very important, 1 mark question answer. Subsistence crisis, what it means? An extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. It means not able to complete the basic needs also. See the poor condition, the critical condition, the drastic condition of these peasants. Have to pay the taxes, have to survive with the low production of food, have to settle down with the wages whatever it was given by the industrialist, whatever they were giving. And not only this, the another impact we are able to see, that the natural disasters. So these poor conditions were there of these peasants, and they should have to survive. They should have to survive from these all critical conditions. Who will look after from them? Who will help them to come out from these situations? They were all looking here and there that somebody should help us to come out from these situations. What do you think that they were? Yes. We'll talk about this in the next topic. Before that, look after the 1.2, how a subsistence crisis happens. As I told you, subsistence crisis, it means the bad harvest which is given in the one box. The second, it means that what if the bad harvest is there, it means less production and sometimes food riots. It means the poorest. Because of that, when production is less, price increases. When price increases, it means that the poor are the one who cannot buy the bread. The poorest can no longer buy bread. What will be happen then? Obviously their immune system will not work. They won't be able to fight with any disease, and this is all problem arises. How a subsistence crisis happens, these are the reasons. Now when this is going on, everybody was looking towards that somebody should help us to come out from this situation. Look after the 1.3, a growing middle class envisages an end to privileges. It means the production that these all privileges, those who were getting by their birth, should have to end up. These all should have to be end up. So in the past, peasants workers had participated. They did a revolt against the increasing taxes and food scarcity. They should have to, because they won't be able to pay this. They won't be able to pay this taxes to the church, to the nobles. They should have to fight, and they did revolt. They did a revolt against the increasing taxes, food scarcity. Please underline, this is also one mark questions. The peasants and farmers had participated in the revolts against increasing taxes and food scarcity. But they lacked the means and program to carry out full-scale measures that would bring out a change in social and economic order. They won't be able to do this. They tried a lot. But somewhere they were lacking. So in this condition, this was left to those group within the third state who had become prosperous and had access to education and the new ideas. So when they have tried, the peasants and workers, they tried to come out. They did a revolt also against these 2 points, increasing taxes and the food scarcity. But they were not able to fight successfully. Why? Because something was there which is missing. Who helped them in this? This was now left to the part of middle educated liberal peoples. They helped them. They helped them to come out from these situations. Few philosophers, very important things, few philosophers were there. They were thinking that there should be end to this all privileges which they were getting by their birth. The people should get everything according to the merit, according to their position, according to their education, not because of the privileges should be given by the birth. That should have to be removed. We are going to talk about the 3 philosophers, very important philosophers. Please remember these 3 philosophers. The very famous 3 philosophers, we are going to talk about that, the John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau and the Montesquieu. They work that the society should be based on 3 things. 1, the people should get the freedom. 2, every being should be treated equal in front of law. And the 3rd, opportunity should be given to all and privileges should be given as according to the merit, according to the education and according to their status. Not according to their status, according to their whatever proper position is there. So these philosophers, they put their ideas forward. Let's discuss about these 3 philosophers. John Locke. We'll discuss first about the John Locke. Remember John Locke, in his book, name of book is 2 Treatises of Government. Agreement, the meaning of treaty, it means agreement. The 2 Treatises of Agreement, in this he wanted to prove, refute the doctrine of divine and the absolute right of monarch. John Locke, he wanted to let that how the society should have to work, how government should have to work. So government should have to work on these 2, doctrine of divine and the absolute right of monarch. Whereas we are able to see that the Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, he highlighted that the government should keep a social contract. In his book of Social Contract, he mentioned that there should be social contract between people and their representative. Representative, again, it means that about the government. He is talking about the government. So who should have to elect? Again, this person, the Rousseau, is suggesting that the people's only the one should have to go with the election and they only should have to elect their representative. It means social contract. It means social contract means people will work according to representative because these all representatives are elected by these people. It means of talking about which government? Democratic form of government. And the 3rd is talking about Montesquieu. In his book of The Spirit of Law, remember The Spirit of Law, he explained about that the government power should divide it into 3, the legislative, executive and judiciary. According to him, he wanted to declare that the people should have to work in this 3 form. The government should have to work in this 3 form. The legislative who makes the law, executive who maintains the law and the judiciary who works for the justice. This inspiration, or you can say the model of government, they get this inspiration from the USA. Remember, we talked first only the USA, the France helped to USA. And when USA independent, The USA, when after 13 colonies declared their independence from the Britain, the American Constitution and guarantee of individual right was an important example where the political thinkers of the France think that this is the right way the government should have to work in this three form: legislative, executive and judiciary. Now these ideas of philosophers, when they explain to the society, these ideas when it was published in the book, these ideas were when it was displayed in the public. Now few people were able to read and read and write, means they were literate. So what they were doing it, those who were able to read, they were sitting in a group and announcing them that these are the different ideas of the philosopher, which is very good, we should have to implement it. Where they were discussing about this, they were intensively discussing at the salon or the coffee houses. They spread among the people through the books and newspapers. These were frequently read aloud in the group for the benefit of those who won't be able to read. At least they will hear and they will think about the views of these different philosophers. And this was all they were discussing, that we should have to do this implementation. And when they were discussing about that, this new message arrived among the people that the Louis King plan to impose further taxes to be able to meet expenses of the state, generate state, means he wanted, now Louis XVI is going to increase the taxes. And when the people heard about it, that Louis XVI is going to increase the taxes, the people were very aggressive. They generated anger, they protest against the system of privileges, and they agree that what these ideas of philosophers they presented, government should have to work in that form. We should have to end somewhere this monarchy. We should have to end the absolute power of monarchy. We should have to fight for our rights, which is very important. So this all, when these all people came together, we are going to talk about this in detail in the next topic, that is the outbreak of revolution. The real story starts from here, that what happened when the people started to revolt, what happened when they were not supporting to Louis XVI, what was the condition of Louis XVI when the people were not cooperating, the subjects were not ready. We'll talk about it. Even though it's very important to know about the third estate, which was very in the situation that very poor condition, not able to survive, how suddenly they extracted themselves from the Louis XVI's kingdom and they formed their another national assembly. We'll look after in the next video. Hope you have understood. And children, if you have any queries, you can contact me to my personal WhatsApp number, or you can call me. There is no problem. Okay, thank you. We'll continue in the next video.